Yalin had inherited more than just property when his grandfather passed. He'd inherited mysteries wrapped in dust and decades of silence. The old hangar sat at the edge of the Mojave Desert, a relic from an era when humanity still believed the stars were unreachable. Now 3 centuries after first contact with the Galactic Council, it was just another forgotten structure waiting to be demolished or restored. He chose restoration. The hangar's massive doors groaned as Yalin forced them open for the first time in 40 years. Sunlight pierced the darkness, illuminating particles that danced like microscopic galaxies. His grandfather had been a xenobiologist during the Contact Wars, one of the first humans to study alien life when the galaxy opened its arms and occasionally its weapons to Earth. Just clearing out old junk, Yalin muttered to himself, stepping over debris and corroded equipment. Sell what's valuable, scrap the rest. But 3 hours into his work he found the vault. It was built into the hangar's foundation, hidden beneath a false floor that only revealed itself when Yalin accidentally triggered a pressure plate. The vault door bore his grandfather's handprint scanner, miraculously still functional. More miraculously, it accepted Yalin's palm genetic authorization spanning beyond death. The temperature dropped 20 degrees as he descended. The chamber was a cryogenic laboratory, pristine and humming with emergency power that must have run for decades. And there, arranged in a perfect octagon on specialized pedestals, sat 8 enormous eggs. Each stood nearly 4 feet tall, their surfaces covered in crystalline scales that refracted light into prismatic patterns. Frost clung to them like morning dew on spider webs. Jalen's breath caught. He knew what these were. Everyone did. Dragon eggs. Specifically, Drukhari eggs, from a species declared extinct 70 years ago when their homeworld was consumed by its dying sun. The Galactic Council had mourned them as one of the oldest sentient species in known space, beings who could traverse vacuum without ships, who breathed plasma and dreamed in quantum states. His grandfather had saved 8 eggs, hidden them, kept them frozen in secret. Why? Yalin whispered, his hand hovering over the nearest egg. Why hide them? A fragment of memory surfaced his grandfather's voice, rough with age, saying, "Sometimes, Yalin, the galaxy isn't ready for second chances. Sometimes you have to wait for the right person." Yalin pulled his hand back. This was beyond him. This required authorities, the Galactic Council, xenobiologists, who actually knew what they were doing. He turned to leave, to make the calls that would change everything. Then he heard the crack. The 8th egg, the one farthest from the entrance, had a fissure running along its equator. As Yalin watched, frozen in shock, the crack widened. Bioluminescent fluid seeped out, glowing with an inner fire that seemed to pulse with a heartbeat. No, Yalin said, rushing forward. You can't hatch. I don't know how to... The egg shattered. What emerged wasn't the massive, terrifying creature from Council archives. It was small, barely the size of a large dog, with wings that were too big for its body and scales that shifted between copper and gold. Its eyes opened multiple lids, retracting to reveal pupils that held entire nebulas within them. Those eyes fixed on Yalin. The dragon hatchling made a sound, something between a chirp and the crackle of lightning. It stumbled forward on unsteady legs, trailing bioluminescent fluid, and pressed its snout against Jalen's chest. Ashkari, a voice said directly into Jalen's mind. You are Ashkari, life-bringer, the one who wakes the sleeping. I'm just a guy, Yalin said weakly, even as his hands instinctively moved to steady the creature. I'm nobody special. You are human, the voice replied, and there was something like amusement in it. That is special enough. The dragon she, for the voice felt distinctly feminine, looked up at him with ancient eyes and a newborn face. I am Arix, last daughter of the Drukhari. And you, Yalin Ashkari, are my bondmate, my choice. The first choice made by our kind in 70 years. But I didn't do anything, Yalin protested. Your egg just hatched. Eggs do not just hatch, Arix corrected, and now she sounded amused. We choose our moment. We feel the world beyond our shells. I felt your uncertainty, your compassion, your very human desire to do the right thing even when it costs you. I felt your grandfather's dream carried in your genetics. She pulled back slightly, and plasma flickered gently between her developing teeth. The others will wake when the time is right, when this world is ready. But I woke now because the galaxy needs to remember something it has forgotten. What's that? Yalin asked, sitting down hard on the cold floor, his mind reeling. Arix settled beside him, her tail curling around his leg in a gesture that felt protective despite her small size. That humans don't wait for permission to do extraordinary things. Your grandfather saved us when my species' own kin had surrendered to extinction. He defied the council, broke laws, risked everything because one human decided that we deserved a tomorrow. She rested her head against his shoulder, and Yalin felt warmth radiating from her despite the cryogenic chill of the chamber. Now you must decide. Will you continue his work? Will you help 7 dragons return to a galaxy that thought them lost? Yalin looked at the 7 remaining eggs, each holding a life, a mind, a potential that stretched beyond his comprehension. Then he looked at Eric's, this impossible creature who had chosen him for reasons he didn't fully understand. Yeah, he said finally, a smile cracking across his face. Yeah, I think I will. Good, Eric's replied, and her mental voice carried the weight of civilizations. Then let us show the galaxy what humanity does best. What's that? The impossible.